Like I said, I've already started to steep some of the tea. I've got water on here for our pasta that we're going to make tea first and then put our pasta in. With the Earl Grey truffles, we're going to take 3/4 of a cup. Now this is not a diet recipe, as you can tell. 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream in a pot. Turn that on. And we're not going to let it, we're going to not let it boil, but it's going to come close. It's going to sort of bubble. And I chose to get the Intense Dark, the 70% cocoa in it. You know, we had a class last year on the properties of chocolate. The better, of course, the better chocolate for you is the chocolate that has the less milk fat in it. So even though it says chocolate is healthy for you, they don't mean the milk chocolate, which is the best, I think, better tasting. It's just different. Okay, we go ahead and we've got our cream on. This is a simple recipe. It's a little bit, I don't want to say labor intensive, because it's a little bit harder to work with the chocolate once everything's all together. Not hard, it was kind of messy. Okay, we're just going to break that up in the bowl. Now these are not, as you can tell, we're not putting any sugar in these, so they're not overly sweet. I did dip the ones in that you're going to sample in the white coating, so that's going to be kind of where your sweetness is going to come from. Okay. And then we're going to use, this will take a few minutes too, not only our chocolate, but our tea bags. And we need 8 tea bags. These are great individually wrapped like this, because you can, you know, put them in your purse or pocket or whatever. However, when you need to do so many, it's kind of a pain. All right, this is getting warm, so we're going to go ahead for time's sake and put our tea bags in. There's not a whole lot of cream, compared to the tea bags, so you need to kind of push them down a little bit to make sure they're in the liquid. Probably could have used a smaller pot. All right. Now this is just about to, can you see it sort of bubbling around the outside if I stop stirring a little bit? So that is hot enough. We don't want to scorch this. We don't want to curdle it. So I'm going to turn it off and let our tea bags sit in there. Make sure they're all... Can't keep the paper out of there. Okay. We will go ahead and take this, which is still kind of hot. We're going to squeeze these out. So we get all our cream back. Carefully, don't squeeze them too hard that you get the tea leaves or the bags breaking. Put that in there. Okay, now we're going to take this and pour it over our chocolate. Now you can let this sit for a minute. We're going to have to pop it in the microwave for just a minute. Kind of help the melting process along. I'll stir this up a little bit. So we got the chocolate melted. Now, there we go, all incorporated. We're going to whisk it a little bit. It says to light and fluffy. I don't know about that. Whoops. Get rid of that. This will also help to cool it a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator for a little bit, and hopefully it will be ready enough to work with it. And this is, okay. We won't be able to finish these all, so because this takes a little bit too long. Yeah, the candy coating is merely, that's what it's called. Just a minute, I'll show you. It's called Candy Quick, or, yeah, microwavable candy coating. And it just, they're coming really nice now here in just little individual, I believe these are 2-ounce things. So you can measure out how it is. It comes in the white and the chocolate. I like this. You don't have to worry about tempering your chocolate or you know, worrying about anything. You can do it in the microwave. You know, again, you have to watch it so you're not, because it basically stays the same shape when you melt it. So when you do in the microwave, you have to put it in for a little bit, stir it, put it back in if it needs to. You know, just be careful with that. All right. Spoon out. And I found that when I did them earlier, I kind of put them out because they were a little bit too soft to roll. But they kind of firmed up a little bit with the, like maybe dried out is kind of what I wanted to say. Dried a little bit, not dried out. And then once they sort of dried and got kind of a little bit of a jacket on them, then it was easier to roll them in a circle. Okay. So we're going to pop these in the freezer and hopefully they'll be ready. But I made some, just in case. They're really pretty. I did do what it said. I rolled them, put them in the freezer, brought them out, melted the candy coating, then dipped each one of them in. And then I just merely took some cocoa powder in a little shaker and just shook it over the top. So, you know, you'd be able to, I think, probably blow that off once it had dried.